Hey world changers, I hope you're all well. So I wanted to just come on and share with you, so this morning in Change Your World Every Day, our online coaching program, we had Dr. Steve Taylor. If you haven't not familiar with Dr. Steve Taylor, check him out. He's got a whole library of books that I highly recommend you read. But he was talking about the psychology of a spiritual awakening. And this week in our online coaching program is all about awakenings. We've got different coaches each and every day talking on this subject. But the way he explained what awakening is. So first of all, Steve spoke about, what awakening is, what it means, how we operate, how an awakening will happen, and what it means for us, how we change, how we develop, and then the ripple effect that creates for ourselves, for our own health and well-being, but also for the world that we live in and everybody around about us. And he described it had such a profound effect on me, but not just me, but the members as well. They all just loved Steve's broadcast this morning, because so the three types of awakening that you can have were, so your natural awakening, and this is often, I recognise this in myself. I had a natural awakening just when I was in childhood. I was in my natural state, natural flow, and it's like that's how all children kind of operate until we get conditioned, we have events happening to us, and we start being shaped and we start closing ourselves down. Then he talks about, people that have a gradual awakening. So these are individuals that might be following a certain practice, maybe Buddhism or meditation, and they'll be doing different things, and they will be having this practice for a period of time. And they don't really recognise the change that's happening. It's only when they sort of look back over a year or 5 years and kind of realise that they're a completely different person. They think differently, they have different perspectives, and the people they used to hang about with, they've gravitated away from them. And then he talks about the third type of awakening, which was a sudden awakening. And this happens when we have traumatic life events. Now, this can be anything from a health crisis, you've had a health diagnosis that's completely changed your perspective on things. You've had losses. Hey Moya, nice to see you. You've had losses in your life, you've had bereavements, you've had sudden change. The rug's been really taken from under your feet, and this just immediately, in an instant, just changes your whole perspective. Hey Tracy, nice to see you. And it just just changes everything pretty much overnight. And he talks about the fact with an awakening, it's almost like the Matrix. You take the red pill, you take the truth, and you see everything much more clearly, and your ego completely just smashes down, and suddenly you go from a very materialistic lifestyle to being more altruistic, more kind, you're in service to other people. And this is something, I very much had. As a child, I was in flow. I was very fortunate. When I really reflect back on my life, I feel that I've had guides all around me all the time. And I think all of us do. I don't think I'm anything special in that respect. But, even into my working career, working in the BBC, I had a lot of people influencing me, and a lot of opportunities to connect with different people in different avenues, and I was learning from different people, different perspectives that I wouldn't normally be exposed to in my social circle. So that was allowing me to change my perspective, question things, challenge things. And however, I still wasn't reaching my full potential. I still was going about life just doing my thing, not really, embracing things, just blaming, not cultivating the life that I really wanted, and just doing the 9 to 5, the drudgery of just what you're expected to do in society, go to school, get an education, leave school, get a job, get married, have family, have kids, and then suddenly hit 30s, 40s and just think, wow, is this it? Because I wasn't in truth, I wasn't in alignment with myself, I wasn't living with passion, I was just, eat, sleep, work, repeat. And so my sudden trauma came, through successions of losses, breakdown of a relationship, loss of my mum. I'd already lost my dad 12 years earlier. That had a massive life-changing effect on me, but I still went back to my old ways. I vowed, my dad was crying his eyes out, on his deathbed, literally a year before he passed away. He was going in for a serious heart operation, and he was saying, I'm too young to die. And I vowed that that was never going to be my legacy. But flash forward 12 years, here I am, overweight, in a miserable relationship, in tons of debt, miserable, unhappy, and just not thriving at all. And I'm like, how is this living life with an abundance? So I had my sudden awakening. Mum diagnosed with cancer, sister diagnosed with cancer, my relationship breaks down. I have a falling out with my brother, so that relationship's completely deteriorated. So lots of losses in a very short, and my whole foundation's chucked up in the air. And, this led me to obviously, just really get things into perspective about what was important. So, and this is why I went on to set up Change Your World, because I do not want people to have to go through the pain and trauma that I went through. Although I do believe pain and trauma is a very good teacher, but it's a much more easier ride if you learn from fun and enjoyment and more empowering techniques. And it's just less painful. And so I set up Change Your World for this very reason, so that I could help people start cultivating the life that they really want to live. And I don't know where you are. You're watching, the people are watching this live, the people are going to be watching this later. I don't know where you are in your life, but if you're thriving, then great, let me know and tell me how you're doing it. And I want you on coaching on Change Your World every day. But if you're just thinking, God, is this it? Like, seriously? And just feeling a sense of unhappiness and unfulfillment, then, that is your intuition, your inner truth telling you you are out of alignment with your values, and it's trying to direct you to wake up, to listen. This is what an awakening is. It's about telling you that something you are doing is not serving you. And this is why I chose this subject for this week, because we're 6 months into our online coaching program, and I really want our members to think about where they're at, where they've come from in the last 6 months, but more importantly, where they're going. And this is what I'm cultivating for next year. So theme for next year is 2020, the year of clear vision. This is when we get clarity on what we want for our lives, where we want to be. This is where we wake up. This is when people are going to start waking up and going, enough, I am done with this. So where we're at now, the benefit that my members in Change Your World every day and the followers of Change Your World that come to our life coaching group is they are starting to plant the seeds. They're starting to prep for next year. This is not about waiting until the 1st of January and thinking, right, what do I want this year to look like? Setting all our New Year's resolutions. It's about prepping the soil now, getting the foundations right and getting absolute clear so you are match fit, you are ready to go when the 1st of January, and we're going to be launching our 12-month program, A Year to Change Your World, and this is going to be, it's going to be mega. We've got awesome speakers lined up for this program, and it's just going to be great. So I'm very excited about it. So if you are listening to this and just thinking, nah, I'm over this, I want to change my life, or even just certain aspects, if you want to get healthier, you want to get fitter, you want to get slimmer, you want to change your job, you want to improve your relationships, you just want to embrace life a bit more, you want to be a bit more confident, maybe something is holding you back. Public speaking used to be a massive thing that held me back. And, you know, I've had to step and push out of my comfort zone to get over that. And, you know, that's really catapulting my career and my business forward, because I'm doing more of it. I'm getting invited to do motivational speaking. Who would have thought it? Somebody that was terrified of standing up in front of people. Still am, but I'm much more resilient now. And that's what a personal development practice does. It builds resilience to allow you to still feel that fear and still move forward. And this is the thing, fear, you know, the more I absorb myself in this work, and the more I learn, and the more I hear from different speakers, it always comes down to fear. Fear is what stops us and what blocks us. So one of my missions is to start eradicating fear and have people operate from a place of love, compassion, kindness, because we're scared of other people, we're scared of what people think of us, we're scared of failing, we're scared of success. You know, it is the root cause of all our unhappiness, because it stops us moving forward, doing the things that we know would bring us health, well-being, happiness, you know, propelling our career forward, our relationships forward. You know, the fear of being rejected, that's a massive one, you know, like putting yourself out there, being vulnerable. You know, this is what stops us all the time. And, you know, if I can encourage and empower people, not just me, but all the amazing coaches that we have in Change Your World Every Day. And if you don't know what Change Your World Every Day is, effectively, I've taken my conferences online. If you've been to one of my Change Your World conferences and you've seen the wealth of speakers that I have at my events, then this is what Change Your World Every Day is. 20 to 30 minutes of coaching, Monday to Friday. We have a different coach each week, different topics. It's just incredible. And the members are making massive changes, and we're just going to get even bigger and better for Change Your World, a year to change your world next year in 2020, the year of clear vision. I mean, just think for a second, what is it you want to create in your life? What would you like to ditch now and not take into 2020? What would you leave behind? Come on, the guys that are watching, Moya, Tracy, there's 4 or 5 people watching. Come on. What would you like to ditch right now and not take into 2020? Because this is what it's all about. This is what we're looking at and exploring, because we, in order to develop ourselves, I've realised, because I keep asking this question, I'm thinking, what is it that has some people absolutely embracing what I do, other people who are slightly curious, and other people are just like, nah, not interested? And what is it that takes some people take absolute action, they start a personal development practice, they start embracing what we're doing at Change Your World, whether it be the one-to-one life coaching, whether it's the weekly coaching or it's the daily coaching. You know, and I've started to recognise that we are all, well, not we are all, that's a general sweeping generalisation, but when people are in overwhelm, it's because they can't take anything else on. And we've got a 24/7 switched on society. We're always switched on. We're never relaxing. We're never doing the things that bring us joy. We're not connecting anymore with people, or not having, you know, full-on good connections. We're not taking walks in nature and enjoying that side of things. It's just switched on, and we're in overwhelm. Our brains cannot physically take anything more on. And this is why when I talk about a personal development practice and life coaching, people think, oh my God, I can't even take that on. I can't embrace it. I can't even handle that. It's just another thing to do. But what personal development will do is get clear. It will get you clear. It will, you know, allow you to go, right, this is totally not serving me. I need to get rid of this. Look how much this is dragging me down. It's holding me back. The energy that it's taking, the pain it's causing. That's what personal development practice does. It will help you to get rid of that stuff and get clear on doing the things that bring you joy, that make your heart saying, yes, We still have to do things that are necessary. We have responsibilities. But when you are coming from a place where you have space and you have time to enjoy things and bring enjoyment into your life, do things that make your heart sing, it makes those responsibilities less taxing, less painful, because you're in balance. You're having lots of enjoyment, health and well-being, happiness. You're connecting with people. You're doing the things that bring you more joy. And it's not all just work, being switched on, pressure, anxiety, stress, and fear. So let me see. Hey, Anne, negative self-talk. Ah, yes. As Gareth Riddy, who was one of our coaches last week, he said the shit-stirring, what was his words? Sorry for not meaning to offend anybody, but this was his words, shit-stirring, I can't remember what the expression, but yeah, this douchebag that just goes on in our brain and just tells us loads of absolute pile of nonsense that is not true. So, well, the thing with that, Anne, I would ask yourself, the next time you catch yourself having negative self-talk, just ask yourself, is it true? Would you speak to a friend like that? So why are you speaking to yourself? Be kind to yourself. Easier said than done, I get it. But this is why it is so important to surround yourself by positive role models, because they can remind you of how awesome you are when you're berating yourself and you're going down that spiral of a place that's not serving you. And Tracy, negativity, self-doubt, comfort eating, being judgmental, to name but a few. Right, couple of things you want to ditch there, Tracy. Well, given that you're in the group, we're totally going to help you with that. So yeah, none of that is going into 2020 right now. We're going to put that right in the bin. We're going to work on that and definitely support you to make that happen. So I'm excited to see where you're going to go in 2020, a year to change your world. And I'm, looking forward to being on the journey with you for that. So that's what I wanted to come on today. So think about your awakening, think about your foundations, where you want to get clear, what do you want to create for your 2020, what do you want to leave behind, what do you want to ditch, and what do you want to... That's it, dickhead. Yes, the shit-steering dickhead. Yeah, sorry. I'm not meaning to offend her. He was being... Gareth was very straightforward talking, which I love. Not meaning to offend anybody. He did it with heart and compassion. We sure am. I am so excited. Awesome, Tracy. Yeah. We actually, if you're in the Inverness area, we've got our life coaching group tonight, which is aptly taking the next steps. This is all about the fact that we live in our comfort zone, and it's scary to step out of that comfort zone. So this is about, facing that fear. As Susan Jeffers said, feel the fear and do it anyway. It's all about facing that fear, having a real honest dialogue and conversation and appraisal of it, and just saying, is that true? No. And, am I going to allow this fear to hold me back for the rest of for your life? I remember actually I went on a retreat, and without going into the total details of it, but I was asked that question. Well, I was told that basically I have this biggest ball of fear inside me, and it has held me back all of my life, and if I do not get rid of it, it will continue to hold me back for the rest of my life. And it had such a profound effect on me, and with the guidance of the healer that I worked with, he helped me to get rid of this biggest ball of fear. It doesn't mean I don't have fear. I still have fear. As I raise my levels, there's new fears, but I now know that I'm not going to die. I will survive. Even if I try something and it doesn't go as I had hoped, I just either learn from it, I move on, but I don't die. That's a simple thing. And this is the bottom line with fear. What is it? What is it? What utter nonsense. Hey Kim, nice to see you. It just holds us back. It really does. So So if you're in the Inverness area, come and join our life coaching group tonight, 7 till 9. The details are on the Change Your World Facebook page and on the Change Your World website. We've updated our website. Go and check it out. Have a look. And if you want some daily coaching, and this is to anybody in the world, anybody can tap into this. So no matter where you are in the world, where you're watching, for £1 a day, you can get amazing coaching from a whole wealth of coaches from all over the UK, all over the world actually. We've got global coaches in there. So check it out. If you've got any questions, drop me a message. I'd be more than happy. If you want to phone me, send me an email, get in touch. I'd love to chat, love to hear from you. And I'd love to know what you would like to ditch and what you really want to take into the year 2020. So if you're serious about starting to change your life, instead of just talking about it, instead of just moaning about where you're at, then get in touch, because we have the resources to help you make that happen. So, love to you all, take care, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.